destination.
You've reached your destination.
Yeah, you're welcome back. It's Raymond McCabe with me from McCabe Fine Furnishings on the Belfast Road in Newry. Fifth generation, for goodness sake. I found that hard to... But then, fifth generation, I remember Johnny McCabe, your grandfather, Raymond, coming to Newry. I remember him down the yard in Mary Street, and I really love the notion that when you went to the Belfast Road, you took with you the cobblestones from in front of your door in Mary Street, outside Ma Graham's house, there at the top. You wouldn't remember that. She was the midwife.
Right, okay.
She delivered me into the world.
Right.
And she looked at me and she said, and it wasn't Facebook in those days.
Of course.
But she exclaimed, OMG, look, what a beautiful baby. And then her ghost came the other day and said, but golly, look at him now. You see, so there you are. Listen, you were on an important thing last night.
Kevin Beltrust had a do on in Stormont.
Yes.
It was very, very good. Big crowd from Newry, well supported from Newry. And John Bell got up and spoke, and he spoke extremely well. Yeah.
You know, you forget too, Collie's such a lovely lad, and he's there, and he's in the front of all of this. But I certainly forget that the wonderful old owl of the whole family, John,
fantastic,
he's still there, and he's able to get up. He must be
sorry,
so proud.
Sorry, I apologise. It was Collie.
It was Collie was there last
Collie
night.
got up and
John,
spoke.
yeah.
And he spoke so well. I didn't realise it was only 18 months ago poor Kevin passed away.
18 months.
And what they've done in the meantime has been fantastic.
Well, they turned an awfulness into something positive.
They did, and
Kevin is remembered at the heart
of course,
all of that.
yes,
You know,
yeah.
there's no two ways.
It's very
about
good.
It. No two ways about it. And the need's still there.
Indeed.
Indeed. How are you this morning?
I'm great. What a lovely morning.
Yeah, I was coming out of the house this morning, and I recall, as I was coming out of the house, the moon was on the wane. It's lying over its back, and it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It was hanging there amongst the stars, in a hammock of stars in the southwestern sky. La, 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 la. And then across the loch, the calm waters of the loch this morning, the lonesome bark of a solitary dog in a Nomeath backyard. You'd bark yourself to get out of Meath, wouldn't you?
Don't be saying that.
Did I say that? No, I did not. I did not. Now, it's Christmas time, it's all happening, and people always think that you have a small shop out there. You haven't, because when you go through the gates, the front little shop there, the window, beautiful display, and you cross the cobblestones of Mary Street and go in, and the wee bell welcomes you, ding dong. Every step you take takes you further and further into this Aladdin's cave. It's a huge space.
It certainly is, Ron. A lot of people think that it's the front shop on the Belfast Road, but we've parking behind it, and then we've the main shop at the rear of the front shop. And we try to do something different.
Yeah.
Try our best.
Well, it works. Because quite apart from anything else, when you go into that place, you see difference. You experience difference. And you see quality. I just go in, I smell the place first of all, and it's a combination of wax polish and the general ingredients that go to make up antiquity. And that you could almost smell a bit of Mary Street still there at the back of it, you know.
No pot-belly stove, though.
No pot-belly stove.
We're not allowed that anymore.
No, this is the thing. Yeah. What are people... I was there with you. I went in the other day, and there's this rather splendid woman examining the comfiture of armchairs. And there's armchairs, and armchairs.
And there's people and people and people, and we're all different sizes, natures, and leg length. And
do you have to do an inside leg measurement for a man
you
to
do
get
the
an
look.
armchair?
You do the look first.
You look.
You look.
Okay.
Yep.
And
then you suggest.
Girth.
No, you just suggest.
You suggest.
Yeah.
Would you be inclined to say, well, look, a person your size, madam, would be far better off on a settee rather than an armchair, because by the size of you, you need it?
You can't say that, really. No. Be subtle.
Well, you say, madam, go for the dark brown because it'll disguise your girth more. No, don't do that.
No.
But you were doing a bit of business, and it was all going well, and there came the immaculate and unmissable moment of, what's the best you can do it for? I heard this been said.
Yeah.
What's the best you can do it for? And you say 500 pounds, you say 300 pounds, and the person says, okay.
Yeah.
Now, If you were doing that with me,
Yeah.
I'd I'd say, what's the best you can do it for?
Yeah.
And you'd say £500. I said, well, you win! Give me a headpiece. Because I have been in the souks, the kasbahs, and the bazaars of Tangier. I know how to do these things, you know. But
And
you've always been very kind.
And they're quite clever. They'll say to you, well, what would you give me?
What would you give me? Well, I'd
So
give
that
you,
turns around on you.
yeah, 200. What about 200? And we'll go on up there. But no, listen to me. What are the popular items this Christmas time as people are looking for quality gifts?
In our shop, it's quite difficult for somebody to come in and buy a gift because there's so many. So a lot of people buy a gift voucher.
Yes. Yeah.
So a son in the other day bought a gift voucher for his mum.
Yeah.
His mum's always in the shop. Oh, I heard her talking about this, that, and the other. So she comes in and he buys a gift voucher, and she can put it to something in 6 months, a year, or 2 years from now.
Yeah. Because there's no point. There's such an array, such a panoply of magnificence. There's no point in going in and buying something because your taste might not be your granny's taste.
No, and then sometimes if you see a piece of furniture in any shop, a large shop, it might look a bit smaller. You get it home, it's too big, it's too small. So it can be, you have to sort of guide people to size. It's nearly, where do you live? Will it go into your house? Will it go up the stairs?
Wow.
A lot of that has to go on.
Yeah. And this is a city that's not quite for the poor.
Oh, no.
Well, you need to change your house. Would you get a mortgage? Can we offer you go down the road and get a mortgage to change your city and whatever? No, but I mean, there's practicalities to be discussed as well.
Yeah.
Tiffany lamps of my wonderfully homing instincts of the past, they're still there.
They were in, then they went out, now they're back in.
Are they?
But proper Tiffany, not plastic.
No.
The problem is a lot of plastic lamps came on the market.
Yeah.
And it destroyed the name, and people were...
Well, I saw half a dozen.
Yep.
They're real Tiffany.
Yeah. I actually seen the people making them, getting pieces of glass.
Did you?
Yeah.
Where did you see that?
In mainland China.
Wow. That's where they're made.
That's where they're made now, yeah.
And what, is there a huge space, a huge factory
a
floor?
A small factory, and they
Small
would have a diagram in front of them, and little, like a jigsaw really.
Yeah.
And they're cutting out pieces of glass and sitting them, getting them right. Then that tray is passed to the next girl who does the lead filling over a shaped mould.
So
get
do
the
they
colours
pour
right.
the lead?
They have a strip of lead.
Do you know what we're talking? We're talking about Tiffany lamps. You know, the lovely little tessellated jewels of colourful glass. They've all been brought together like a mosaic of glass.
Yes, a mosaic of glass.
So the glass is passed on to the next person.
And then it's shaped on a mould, on
On a mould. There's
hat mould type.
Yeah. But how do they stick it to the mould?
With lead.
So it's just little...
Sorry, no, they start off at the base, round the base.
So they
and
make
then
the
build up,
base.
build up, build up.
Do you know that's how you make mud huts to live in Africa?
Yeah.
You put a circle down, first of all, of a single circle of blocks. Then you put, once that dries, you put the next on it. You might put two rows on, let it dry, and then you build and you build. That's a wee bit similar.
Good foundation.
Yeah, good foundation. Your
foundation
Tiffany
right.
is there, yeah.
But it's an art. It's an art form to see it done properly. And a lot of man hours go into making.
Yeah,
And then, of course, you use the right bulb in them, and the light's fantastic.
yeah. I think I'll buy a Tiffany lamp. What would it cost me, a Tiffany lamp?
From 170, 80 up to £500-600.
What's the best you could do it for?
Come in and I'll sort you out.
Look, tell me what you would like. How much would you like?
As much as I can get.
He's telling lies. You never feel you've been screwed in your shop. You always feel that you've been talked to by a man of honour.
Oh, thank you.
A Mary Street man.
Oh, yeah.
Spoken by a true Mary Street man oneself, of course. And this is what does it say? Honour among thieves. I didn't say that. No.
Give value and they'll come
Give
back.
value. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And quality first.
So the Tiffany lamps, what's the origin of the Tiffany name? Do you know? Probably don't.
I don't.
No.
I'm sorry, I don't. I assume it was probably would it be early 1910?
Yeah.
1920s.
Kind of the 20s era, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, people wanted a bit of colour in their life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
After the bad times of the Great War,
Yeah.
and they wanted Tiffany there. So Tiffany lamps are there, and then we look at smaller pieces of this, that, and the other. What have you got?
Occasional furniture sells
What is
very well.
occasional furniture?
Small pieces, lamp stands, standard lamp, sorry, plant stands, coffee tables, nested tables, side tables,
Yeah.
Maybe a nice table that you sit here having your glass at night with a pull-out shelf with your magnifying glass, your glasses, and nowadays a drawer for your laptop.
Oh,
Your
I've got a new phone.
Oh, very nice.
Beautiful phone. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look, it's all magic.
Yeah.
Talking of laptops, I got a new phone. I, Rowan Hand, am now into the age of modernity.
Very nice.
Having started on a manual typewriter. You enjoy what you do, don't you?
Oh, I do, yeah. Business has changed a lot, as you know, in the last 50 years. They introduced a thing called VAT about 40 years, didn't they? And they introduced all these different things. But in general, yes, the core business I really enjoy.
Yeah, yeah. Could you sell anything? You're selling furniture at the moment. Could you sell cabbage in the market?
No.
Come on.
You sell, well, I admire the people who would sell cabbage in the market years ago.
Yeah.
And they would have 4 or 5 guys in the same competition.
Yeah.
Running the same products. And they all got on and they all did their business. And
Yes.
I suppose when I look back at my father, if I took him for a spin out round South Armagh, the Slay, the Summon, anywhere like that, he said, oh, go round this corner, there's a man around here now, he wasn't so well, but I can remember putting the wardrobe up the stairs.
Wow.
And he would remember people by what furniture he really sold them.
Yeah.
You know,
Isn't it a funny thing? The last thing in God's earth that I would ever think of buying in the way of furniture would be a wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
It disgusts me that I would ever have to spend money on a wardrobe. I don't know. I take them for granted. I just don't like. I love the notion of having my writing desk that I can sit there and do my cards on. I love the notion of my South African settee.
But a wardrobe, no.
No, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Probably because men look at a chair as being a wardrobe. They throw things over it.
What's your bedroom like? That's a terrible thought.
3 chairs.
3 chairs. What's a wardrobe? What's the origin of the word wardrobe?
Ward.
You don't know.
Robe.
Then there's a
No.
tall boy.
Yeah.
It's just a physical bigness.
No,
What's the
there
difference
was
between
a
wardrobe and-
gentleman. He was.
Yeah. What's the difference between a tall boy and a wardrobe?
Well, the tall boy's a great chest.
Right? There's a big chest in it.
Proper tall boys would have started off with deeper drawers at the bottom. Now,
Yeah.
today's furniture, they don't do that.
Yeah.
And they would have been for your sheets, blankets, a deep,
Oh, yeah.
deep drawer, and narrowing as they come up.
Yeah.
to-
Well, when I bought my coffin, which I have it now this 2 years, I use it as a duvet basket.
Oh, very
And I
good.
put all my bedclothes in it. Well, it's a wicker
Yeah, okay.
job, and it's there waiting. And once a month, I sleep in it to get used to it.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
this is how I lose
Is
women.
there any
in my life.
compartments in it or anything?
No, just for the whiskey.
Right. All right.
But this is how I lose women in my life. They'll be out now. They don't know when they come in, and they see me lying there asleep and sit up. And there's a scream, and they run away. But very funny. I beg your pardon. It's very funny. I remember doing a nationwide program down in Cork
Okay.
on the Undertakers Convention of Ireland.
Right.
That's what it was. And all the coffins were said, all right, I'm going to die on air. Aaron, if I die on air, keep filming, all right? Don't worry about resuscitation. But there it was. And they had all the coffins out in the hotel room, this big drawing room, a big dance area. But it was all taken over by the Undertakers of Ireland. And the sun was coming through the window. I thought to myself, there's a great one. There's 6 coffins, lovely, beautiful. And the last one is a kind of a wicker job. And I thought to myself, a lovely opening shot. And we had to do it early in the morning in case anyone thought we were acting the agent, and we weren't.
Okay.
And they wouldn't have understood. I couldn't have explained to them what I was trying to achieve. These coffins were up on trestles.
Okay.
And there I thought to myself, sun streaming through, beautiful slow pan across, ending, music. So that's what happened. Sun coming through, slow pan, music in the background, music fades. Last coffin lids opens, and Rowan sits up.
Very good.
I'm delighted to be talking to you this morning, but I'm in a circumstance that not all of us would ever wish to be in, but assuredly we will be there one day.
Indeed.
And we worry about it. But let's not worry, because I'm with people this morning who know all about it and who will tell us all about it. Lay back down again and pull the thing over. It's all fun.
Funny, my grandfather on my mother's side, John O'Hara, that would be
Yes.
the bookie people.
Yes, the bookie, yes.
He made coffins
Yep.
behind where Heaney's undertakers are at the moment.
Oh, yes.
And my mother had to go down, had to get oak, bend the oak, do it properly, planked oak, sand it. And of course, as children, she said, under candlelight they had to sand them. And as children, they would go down and playing them and hiding them and
Oh,
so on.
yeah. That's it. But I mean, all those skills have gone.
Yeah, that's...
Which is terrible.
Yeah.
One of the, why are we talking about coffins? That's terrible. How did we get on that?
no
Who
idea.
knows? God knows, I tell you. So with that coming up to Christmas, and you're out there in the Belfast Road.
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
It's all good. But what I love doing is just taking a half an hour and strolling around quietly. You don't bother anybody. You just dander around the place. You take in the atmosphere, the ambience, and it's structured in a way that's very private. It's like walking down the carriage of the Orient Express, in a sense. Mm-hmm. You've got your own space, and all the little rooms are all made up, and all and you're just going, that would be lovely. Lovely. It's good. It's an enjoyable experience.
Well,
are you charging for tours of the place?
Of course not. And we have promotions on at the moment.
What are they?
Sale.
Yeah.
Our January sale is moving forward and forward every year, but it officially starts the day after St. Stephen's Day. I tried Boxing Day with you last time.
I don't like
Boxing
Boxing Day.
Doesn't work, no.
Because it's St. Stephen's Day.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I'm
the
not
Saturday.
religious,
Right.
but I have the greatest respect for the holy men of our past.
Of course you have. Yeah.
You know, there's no, because I was thinking once, there's a great saint of the Second World War, Maximilian Kolbe. Mm-hmm. He was a Franciscan friar of Poland, and he was one of a group of men who were, they were going to be executed.
Okay.
He wasn't included. But he stepped in and he said, do me, take me, let that man off, because that man is a father, he's a married man, he has responsibilities, I don't.
Okay.
And miraculously, the commandant agreed, and Maximilian Kolbe rolled his sleeve up and got the injection of carbolic acid that killed him. And but there are so I'm saying that's why I say St. Stephen's Day. Yeah. There are lots of good men and women who have done great things in the world. There's no two ways about it. What do you think of the Americans this morning? They're talking, the CIA.
All right.
They said, yes, we did enhanced interrogation techniques, torture. Yes, we did it. We definitely did it. There's no doubt about it. But it worked. It really worked. It was good. There was no thought of, I'm very sorry we did it. We didn't really do it. We did it, and it worked. That's what the CIA is saying this morning.
So what happens now? It worked, and who takes the blame for it?
Yeah, nobody's going to be blamed. It worked. They're happy. So torture is all right. The Geneva Convention has been torn up and thrown out in a way.
Well,
and it's amazing altogether. You were mentioning your various offers that are on.
Oh yeah.
We strayed a little bit.
Sorry, we did a few things.
Oh yeah. But good things.
We've offers on now. So anybody will do your deal.
Yep.
There's a deal to be done
on a Tiffany lamp.
On anything.
On anything. Deals to be done. Deals to be done. And, songs to be sung.
Except coffins.
If I were to say to you and give you the specification,
well,
why would you turn to me?
We'll try.
Yeah, but here I have my own anyway, which is great. Now, that's good. The other thing to say to you is, you didn't tell me that the bed I bought from you was a king size.
Correct.
I thought it was a double bed. So I went off and I got a new sheet for it.
Okay.
The other sheet had been worn out.
Right.
Oh, it was there a while. So I tried to put this new sheet on a double bed, and I stretched it, and I put my foot up against the mattress, and I pulled.
Right.
And I pulled it down the other way, and I slid it in, and I jammed books down one end and pulled the other way. Could I get that to settle? No, I couldn't. I had to go and get a king-size duvet. I now know that my bed is king-size.
But if you had come back to us, we would have known that. We had that on record. And we would have asked you first. And you wouldn't have known.
And you then would have said, and Ron, I have this lovely duvet, this lovely sheet, fitted sheet for the king-size bed.
Of course.
But a man like me would need a king-size bed. I muse constantly that anything beneath A king size would just be spurned, thrown away. Wouldn't be any good. The springs are working very, very well. They're so comfortable.
Good.
But I discovered a wonderful thing this morning on my new phone. Absolutely magnificent on my new phone this morning. For the first time, I put the new phone alarm on. And you know, it was like a symphonic little ditty. It just went, doo-dee-doo-doo-dee-doo-doo-doo. Now, the last one I had was, will you get yourself out of there now? I don't like that. It's not good. It's not good. So I'll come out and see you.
Thank you very much,
You're a
Ron.
good man.
Thank you.
What sort of music do you like? Would you be content to leave yourself in the hands of Aaron?
Jazz rock.
Oh, Jesus. Jazz rock. Yeah. Aaron will choose us a nice bit of music now. Raymond McCabe of McCabe's Fine Furnishing in Newry. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Ron.
Destination Newry. Keep it on.